You're going to need to know how to format text when you make a web page. And this is pretty simple. It's just like when you're using a word processor. So let's go and do it. So here's our basic page, and we're going to work with some text here. We're going to create a headline, and headlines usually get centered in the middle of the page. And I'm going to type the headline for the Internet Profit Mentor website. You know what? I already have it here typed. Let me cut and paste it. And okay, so this is my headline, and I can highlight that and make sure it's centered. And what I want to do is let's change the font, make it a little bigger. So we highlight the text and we go up to Format, Font, and you can see I was going to change the size, but let's also look for a new font. Let's just use Courier New. Why not? Now we're going to make it bigger. Well, I'm going to make everything bigger but this one. And we go to size. We can go to large. And let's make it even bigger. So format, size, let's go to extra large. Now we can make it bold. Let's make everything bold just by highlighting it and hitting the B up here. And let's make this the next size larger. Format, size, large. Now we may want to make this stand out by making it red. So we go to Format, we go to Text Color, and we select red. And we hit OK, and there's the red. And if we wanted to do something like that, we could put text on the next line, but I'm not going to do that for now. And let's make this the next size bigger. Format, size, we want to go for extra, extra large. Now we have this huge headline. What we can also do is we can left align it, left align right there, center it, right align, or this is called justify it. Now when you have a headline that you probably don't want to justify because it doesn't look well, but when you write paragraphs and paragraphs of stuff, justifying is another nice thing you can do. So let's go back to centering it. And that would be our headline. Now, I worked on this page and tweaked it for a while, so it looks different on the website. And we could tweak this even further. But what else can you do with text? Let's just play with what we have here. We can underline. We can make something italic. Now I try to avoid using italics because italics make it harder for people to read. Even if you're looking at it and you say it looks fine italicized and even looks cool, keep in mind that a lot of people will have trouble reading your highlighted italic words. So another thing you can do, which is done nicely, is you can highlight a certain color. So if we want to highlight in gold, we do this and see how it has that effect. So you don't want to overuse this stuff, but if you want to call attention, like here, 100% free, that's something that I wanted to call attention to, 100% free. Full-time internet marketer, well, I just highlighted with yellow. Be careful when you highlight, because you may highlight something like this, professional, and I could highlight that and use like a dark maroon, and it becomes hard for people to read. I do have to strain my eyes a little bit to see this. Even though I can read it fine, I realize other people out there will have trouble reading that. So I usually stick with very light colors for highlighting. I almost always just use like a nice gold or a yellow, but if I were to highlight, I might use a light color like this, and that looks okay. So keep in mind, you want to have a contrast. If you're having any type of text, you want to have it really contrast the background. Now, another thing that you can get away with is, let's highlight the word completely, and let's highlight that with black. Okay, now let's re-highlight that, and let's change the font color. Go to Format, the text color, and let's make the text white. So you have that negative effect there, and that is actually a pretty cool contrast that you can use. Again, do this tastefully, and you only want to use these techniques to make something on the page stand out. When you have paragraphs and paragraphs of text that's all black, you want to make the buzz phrases and the sexy little words that you want to make people see stand out, and you can do that. It's very simple. You make something red, you can make a word blue. So we go to Format, Text Color, and you want to use like one of these dark blues. I usually reserve blue for a hyperlink, and a hyperlink, you always want to have it blue. You want to, when you create a hyperlink, it will automatically be underlined, and you want to have it be the certain color. By default, it's going to be the right color. So this blue looks like a hyperlink, and that's why I don't make anything. Usually I try to avoid blue because I don't want people to try to click on it, because right now it's not a link, and blue is understood to be a link. So I usually do not make text blue, but a lot of people do. So let's change that color back to black. Again, rule of thumb, at least 75 to 90% of all words on your page should be black. The text itself should be black usually. And it's just like Microsoft Word. You type and then you can format it. And you see that there's text style and there's different things you can play with in here. You go to font and you have lists of fonts. Let me move it over so you can see it. It's just slightly out of your view. Format, font, and you see all these fonts. And you need to play with this, and you need to fiddle with these web pages until you find a combination that shows the look that you're going for. So let me save this page and show you what it looks like. Save as, and we're going to call that, let's save it as index 2, replace it, yes, and we will open up our website folder, and we look at index 2, and in just a moment it's going to pop up, and let me shrink it down because it popped up full size, and this is what our web page looks like. Now again, you need to play with this and tweak it until it looks the way that you want it to, and sometimes when you're in different views, when you're in design view, it will look slightly different. So always look at the finished page before making your final decision. That's basically all you need to know about adding text. There's some more things I want to show you in down here, the HTML code section. Now we're going to get to images in the next video, so I will see you there.